Welcome to MRC Tier 2 for the finale of Season 7. If you can't tell from my shocking accent, we are today in the land down under, that is Australia. I'm going to bring you some crazy upside down action. Today I am joined in the commentary box by the one and only Martin Hills. Martin, how are we?
Alright mate, that sounded very like EastEnders and that, didn't it?
Did a little bit, I'm awful at accents, me.
Yeah, I've got to say, it wasn't the best Australian accent I've ever heard. I think I can probably do slightly better myself.
Don't know what I'm doing, to be honest with you, mate. That was a little bit better, but still not great.
Fair dinkum.
So, here we are, as we were just saying, it's the Tier 2 finale, round 9 of 9 for Season 7, and the final race for Tier 2 on the F1 2021 game. We have two members of this party who could join many more people before them as Tier 2 champion. They are Bergen and Fox River 8, also known as Bergen and Jake. We have also got two other drivers who could snatch another position above them, being second or third, in Mark the Hodge and Jacob 5J Rooster, who is your former teammate, Martin, I believe.
He is, yeah, at McLaren, yes.
Indeed.
Both my previous season, having had to basically disappear off to foreign climes and leave him standing there.
How dare you?
Well, it just shows I can't get my fix. I have to come and commentate instead, which is bad news for everybody, obviously.
Not as bad news as me being on. But jokes aside, we have got multiple people who can fight for a championship, multiple people who can fight for promotion potentially to Tier 1, depending on the outcome of today's results. Speaking of which, the championship standings as they lie going into this final round. Bergen currently is incredibly on 114 points, which is 16 ahead of Jake the Foxmeister. He's on 98, followed by Mark, who's on 87. That's 11 points back from Jake and 27 back from Bergen. And then Jacob's on 81, a further 6 back from Mark, and 33 off of Bergen. But he's still really in the hunt for second place as well. So obviously there's plenty to play for. The Constructors' Championship is all wrapped up. AlphaTauri have kind of dominated. Combination of Bergen and his good friend and teammate Damalek have really nailed it this season. They've really been a force to reckon with.
Well, let's hope they don't do a repeat of AlphaTauri yesterday at Silverstone in real life.
Yes, I'm personally blaming Gasly on that one, but I'll leave the real stewards to actually make a decision on that.
You're blaming Gasly?
Not Gasly, sorry, Tsunoda. I mean, I know it's definitely Tsunoda. Sorry, I meant Tsunoda going the inside.
What has he done to wrong you?
Actually, Gav went on a bit of a French riot twice in the last two streams, so I'm sure he'd be blaming Gasly just out of principle.
Well, I think we should just set the record straight and say that there is absolutely nothing wrong with the French.
I don't mind the French. I go there quite every now and then.
That's called damning with faint praise, I think.
I don't mind them. I mean, in the sense they don't mind us.
Bonjour tout le monde, ça va aujourd'hui? Est-ce qu'il y a une bonne chance pour acheter un croque, monsieur, près d'ici?
Oh, très bien, monsieur. Comment ça va?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, was you just reading out the only French words you know, I take it?
No, I actually asked whether there was anywhere close to here where I can buy a cheese and ham toasted sandwich.
Also known as a croque monsieur.
Exactly. That is exactly what I said.
Indeedy.
I'm not even joking.
Indeed. So Licious has got a 24-3 straight on the board. I'm sure the times will tumble, but that's the first time we have. I'm just watching Derry comes into the middle sector, which is much changed in real life and for the new game, which actually I'm quite excited by, because it's one of my favourite parts of the track is the middle sector. It's one of my favourite sectors of the whole calendar.
Yeah, well, what you're not liking the shape of new things?
Oh no, I like it. I liked how it was. So I'm in two minds.
I don't know. I always found that corner just interrupted the flow of the sector. You know, you can't really overtake into it because it's got such a tight apex and a tight exit, and it just stops you from getting anywhere near the car in front along the next straight. Unless you're lucky, if you get a good drive out of it. But yeah, I know what you mean.
It's just one that I quite enjoyed. Derry drops in a 128.7. Again, the times are going to tumble. So Fox River just dropped to 23.6 and Jacobs on 23.5, Bergen 23.9. So the title contenders and the promotion contenders are straight away all closely knit together.
We've got the Red Car Rambo Appreciation Society in the chat here. Marie-Claire Lavelle says, Red Car Rambo is poo. Oh,
well, I'll tell you what.
That's not very positive, is it? That's
if
not
I had a
positive at all.
missus, if I had a missus and she called me poo, I'd be quite upset. Oh, Derry's had a big off and looks like he's retired at the end of the first sector. Just saw that on the edge of the camera from when we were watching Fox. Jump on board with him. Oh, Fox and Fanning just had a very near miss. Very close to an accident there. So,
there's a lot of people on track right now. There's lots of cars on out laps or in laps. There's a lot of vehicles moving around at slow speed as I flick through here.
Indeed. So Fox is currently on a lap. He's a tenth and a half up on his current lap, which would put him on pole provisionally. It is his second lap on the tyre though, so the extra wear, will that be worth it if he doesn't improve on this set?
What I found later on in this game is that on a lot of tracks the tyres are much better on the second lap if you don't mind taking a risk with the wear for the race.
That's exactly what I've found in a lot of cases, and especially the shorter tracks such as this. You find you can get that extra lap as long as you've got the ERS. Jake across the line and he's improved by a quarter second. That's a 23.3 we're now into.
Got Monster just about to come across on his first lap as well.
Let's jump on board with the Aston Martin.
And he's actually starting a lap. I thought he was on a lap already.
Lucius gets nicely out of the way.
He was. My mistake. Sorry, my timing seemed to go a bit weird then. My apologies.
It's all good. So DRS open, heading down to turn 3. Another corner they've changed. I like it how it is, but it's a lot more open now on the new game. Have you tried any of the new game? I know you're in Andorra, busy with work, but have you had a little explore?
Well, clearly I've got my PlayStation with me, and I have got F122 on it, but I genuinely cannot remember for the life of me how you play a driving game on a controller. It seems like absolute madness. I haven't played on I've been on a wheel since F1 2012, so I've been trying to sort of teach myself to do it, and I am absolutely hopeless. So I've done one race because I've started a career. So I'm just onto our favourite cheesy track, Cheddar.
Oh, Morris has lost it in the middle sector. The high-speed corner. Oh, he's out. He's just DNF. Just call that on stream. Oh, Andrew, he was just saying earlier today that this is one of his favourite tracks, and he tend to do well here. That's a shame.
It's an easy place to go there. To be fair,
it really is. We've got a few people out on mediums, by the way. Just noticed with Thomas Hornets coming through the final corner now. One of many members of the team on mediums at the moment, and he drops it into 11th place.
Lots of people in the chat at the moment. It's very active tonight. I think this title showdown is bringing in the viewers, isn't it?
Oh, of course. This is what everyone wants to see. The fact that we've had all of our championships go to the finale, with the exception of the Challenger Tier and RCX. So 5 of the 6 championships go into the final race. That's what you want to see.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't wish for more to sort of wave goodbye to the outgoing game, could you?
Of course. Well, let's be honest. As much as this game's got its flaws and had its issues, it's been quite enjoyable for a lot of us, I'm sure. But the new game, I've tried to avoid it too much because I don't want to learn the new game and then not be able to play this one as efficiently. But you know, it seems quite early on to be better, very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm finding a lot of positives from it. I mean, I haven't had any of the issues which people have been reporting. It's a very, very early days now, and 21 was bugged to hell the first week it came out as well, and I'm pretty sure that they'll rectify a lot of things very, very quickly. It seems to be more PC games that are having the major issues, along with PS4. So if you've got a PS4 and you're playing F122 in the league, it might be worthwhile making sure it's running nicely for you. Yes.
A lot of our members are on PS4, and obviously the new crossplay features are due to at some point come in, so we'll have to wait and see how that affects it, because that could make it a bit more complicated. Brave has just gone fastest in the middle sector, by the way, as Lucius sets a fastest overall lap of 23.0, so the track is ramping up.
I'm just watching Ryan desperately trying to stay out of people's way, and whilst he does it, like mounting some of the biggest sausages I've ever seen him straddle.
And we do know he likes to straddle a sausage here and there. Speaking of sausages and people going over them, Dennis Helger and Asani's incident on Saturday, it was very good to see no one was hurt from that. Oh, come in, the Bray's got second with that lap. I knew it was quick, but wow, what a lap.
In your favourite car?
It is the Willy Boy car, which, well, say no more, it's just an arc de triomphe, to come back to our French talk earlier. Guy has retired from the session.
Where's he gone?
I'm just on board with Jacob, and it looks like it's in the final corner. We've got a pile-up of some cars, and it's Guy and Stringy V have both gone out at that second to last corner, both in the wall together. I wonder if something happened between them. No.
Well, I mean, I wonder whether someone's got on the gas in that corner, spun it, and the car behind has hit them because it hasn't ghosted.
Ooh, Jacob's at 23.2, so he's just dropping the time a little bit. So
he is.
Now
We've also got Fox on the lap now as well. So obviously our two title protagonists are going toe to toe right now.
Bergen's out on track as well. We're just on board with Fox. We'll jump on board with Bergen after, because I believe actually Bergen's in the final sector. So I'm jumping on board with Bergen, who's 9/10 up in the middle sector. This will put him on line with Licious's time of a 23.0 if he can hold it together. Here we go.
Using every inch of the track there.
Oh, he's leaving nothing to spare, and that's what we like to see.
Including
ambitious
fuel.
and aggressive. Oh yes, he's absolutely running it dry, and it's a 22.7. Wow. So he's not messing around here. He wants this title and he wants to win to get it.
Fox is just heading into the heading up towards the final sector now. We're going to get a sector time any moment, I think.
Yep, he's 4 tenths up on his lap. So again, this will push him close to, if not level with Bergen, depending on how his final sector goes. Here we go.
The track is gripping up, isn't it? I think.
Oh, it really is.
Looks like people are suddenly going a lot faster.
It's a confidence track, like you say. It's easy to lose it quite a lot of places here, so it's definitely a confidence track. Once you kind of get your groove, you can start pushing. If you lose it once, you're very tedious and cautious for the rest of the lap. But here you go, and he's gone fastest by half a tenth. Wow. Okay,
yeah,
this is on.
That's pretty close.
Yeah, this is.
Now it's Jacob's turn to show what he can do.
Let's jump on board. He's not on a lap, I'm afraid.
He's not. He's just priming himself. No, he's coming.
Damalek's about to cross the line. Damalek goes, and he stays 7th. He improves by a quarter of a tenth. We've got Calvin and Mercedes today.
One notable person in the chat is Gavin. Hello, Gavmeister. He says he's missing. He says he's missing tier 2, but he's here listening at work.
Yes, unfortunately, Gav had to jump out of the comms today, which is why you've got me. Sorry, everyone. But obviously, we've all got commitments, so we won't slam the Gav too much as I'd like to. We know Gav wants to be here tonight, but his fellow comms partner, Mark, is currently in the pits, but Mark's teammate Calvin is in the final sector. He's stepping in for Mercedes today. He's a tier 3 driver normally. He's going for the tier 3 title on Wednesday, I must point that out. So here he goes, getting his practice in early. Round the final corner, what can he deliver? And it's quite a quick lap. He's gone 4th. So there you go. The Tier 3 Championship leader as it stands has just gone 4th in Tier 2 qualifying. That bodes well for him for Wednesday.
Yeah, for sure. that's a competitive time, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah, just watching. Simba is on a fast lap at the moment.
Yes.
He's going to improve significantly. I don't think it's going to quite put him up.
Oh, he's just lost it. Oh, he's out.
Oh, he's out.
I was just on board with Dumbest Hornet and just caught Simba just in time for him to hit the wall. I'm jumping back to Dumbest Hornet, who's on a better lap as it stands.
Oh, I can hear language. I can hear language coming out of that helmet.
Yes, I think that he's going to be disappointed with himself. He's currently down in 15th. You could imagine that if Stu can get a lap in, he'll drop down to 16th. But that's not a good place to start here.
Almost everyone's in the pits.
So Hornet just jumps up to 9th with a new lap. So, yeah, you're right.
What's going on in the chat? There's a lot of people in the chat. Dak Convertible says Dak Convertible for the win. Okay. And, everyone's obviously just wishing everybody good luck because there's obviously a lot riding on tonight. And Dak Convertible is being very charitable. He says, wishing everyone across all tiers good luck this week, except Connor. But then again, I suppose that's fair enough because they're fighting each other for the title. So
if you give him too much luck, then he'll beat him in the championship. So I can understand that. Although Connor, he'll take it personally. We've got the Hodge just warming up in the final 2 corners now to take on his next assault at a lap. Let's jump on board with El Hodjo. Again,
well,
he's still in the mix for second.
Whilst we're waiting for him to get himself around a lap, it's incredibly hot here where I am. Even now, right, it's 8:15 at night where I am. It's 27 degrees, and I made a tactical error. I had quite a hot chili for dinner, and I am seriously hot, and I am currently commentating in my pants.
Well, for those who thought this was a family-friendly show, it's not anymore.
I'm wearing my pants. Come on, I'm not. It's not like
Okay.
it's not like it's sausage curbs everywhere, is it?
Well, it could be. You're telling me in your pants, but the sausage curb could be out and on show, and that's not what we want to see. Well,
I trust me, it's not.
speaking of sausage curb, Mark's just mounted one, and he's a tenth and a half up, coming through the first sector as he rides that sausage. As he heads down to the high-speed chicane. He's very brave for the curb here. Ooh,
Nice.
Nice. We like that.
Had it straightened up nice and early to get on the power to head down this straight as well, didn't he?
He did. It's just what you need to see. Plenty
such
curb
an
on the
important
entrance
corner
there
there.
as well. I like that corner. It's a fun one. Again, they've opened it up
It
too
is.
much for my liking. I think it was good before. This curb here I find is a tricky one, and if you run a bit wide there, you've got no traction. Here we go.
Here comes
Very
the
neat
limit
and
of truth.
tidy. Very neat and tidy lap from Mark. You've got to say that was a very well hooked up lap. 23.0 goes third. So here we go. 3 of the top 4 of the championship are in the top 3. Jacob currently on his out lap now. He's just left the pits. Can he join them? I say the surprise package so far. I've got Licious and Calvin, both tier 3 drivers, stepping up to tier 2 today, both in 4th and 5th respectively. And Cool the Brave, after a few up and down results this season, is 6th, looking quite competitive, has to be said.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely got a lot of speed. I mean, I think he's, I think he's got an awful lot more to give in future seasons. I mean,
Definitely.
he's someone who should be right up at the very, very sharp end all the time. He's got a lot of pace. So I seem to have, a few people seem to be reacting to the fact that I'm commenting. Oh, that sounds wrong, doesn't it? I'm commentating in my kecks. People seem to be upset about that. I don't know why that is. Seems very mean.
Well, at least not going commando, which, you know, be a bit dangerous. Speaking as the land down under, if you're upside down, it'd be flopping everywhere. Speaking of flopping,
Oh,
Floppy
Vans is
Loppy's
out.
on track. Oh, Vans is gone, yes. Oh, what happened to Frank? Looks like he's
For the
lost in
last
the
few
exit
seconds.
turn 5 and 6.
Time is disappearing very quickly.
I'm just on board with Damalek, who's on a much improved lap as well. What can Damalek do in the other Alpha Tauri? His teammate Bergen go for the title. Can he help him at the front end? Here we go. That sounded worse than I thought it would. Damalek's up to 8th. Gonna leave that one be. Got Fanning's on a lap. He's currently got his best lap on a medium. He's currently on the softs.
Yeah, I mean, everybody is on a lap, so
Yeah, so
I
the
think the
flags
times
drop.
are just about to massively rearrange.
We've got 5 drivers already who cannot improve. Oh, Fanning nearly loses it coming out of turn 5. So
Jacob is
currently
going quicker.
Mark, Stoop, Seb Mayo, Lorpy and Red Car of Rambo, the master that is Ryan, have all completed their sessions. Bergen is in the pits. He's bailed. So we'll jump forward and see the Fox River, the 10th up. He's currently on provisional pole. He's going faster. Can he improve and make this a very hard time to beat? Got yellow flags in a couple of places on the track.
Jacob's Jacob's the best part of 3/10 up, but he
That would
needs
put
a lot
him
more than
third.
that.
That would put him third, but still behind Bergen and Fox. Fox, meanwhile, is up on his lap. He's about to cross the line. Fox River 22.60 improves by a 10th. So,
Well done.
wow, good
Jacob's
lap. And
aborted.
obviously,
He's aborted.
and with Bergen and Mark not on laps, we're now looking. Calvin's set a lap. He's not improved. Licious has aborted his lap. Braves pitted. Jacobs bailed, as you said. We've got Dumas Hornet in the final 2 corners. Can he improve? Then we'll jump on board with Damalek afterwards, who's also on our lap. What can Dumas Hornet do? He heads to the line. It's a 123.2, jumps up to 7th. Jump on board
Stu's
now
got a
with
great
Damalek.
exit out of the last corner.
Damalek's bailed in his lap. Stube stays
improve.
11th. Damalek's aborted his lap, so we have our grid. Ooh. So, Jacob's slightly out of position with his championship rivals. However, the top 3 in the championship are 1st, 2nd and 3rd. Fox River currently
But
2nd
we've
championship on pole.
we've seen before how aggressive Jacob can be as on track in terms of passing people. So
100%.
I don't think 8th is going to hold him up too much. And I think around this track, safety cars are inevitable tonight. I mean, look, we've got a quarter of the grid have crashed out in qualifying. So I think there's a very high possibility of a fair bit of safety car chat being required tonight, don't you?
Oh, you would be 100% correct in that deduction. I've got some, and I'm hoping to just fill in the gaps where needed. However, let's hope the boys and girls of this world can keep us entertained on track. I'm saying boys and girls, we're not assuming genders. There could be lawnmowers for all I know. Right. So
Gav says Gav's just dropped in a quick comment to congratulate Licious for getting into the top 5. But he also says that he says this commentary is more dodgy than when I'm around. Ha ha.
That's not possible.
Out, etc.
So, run through the order quickly. So, pole position for Fox, Bergen 2nd, Mark 3rd, Licious 4th, Calvin 5th, Brave 6th, Dummers Hornet 7th, Jacob 8th, Fanning 9th, Damalik 10th, Stube 11th, Stebmail 12th, Lorpy 13th, Ryan 14th, Vans 15th, Simba 16th, Derry 17th, and then you've got Stringy B, Guy and Monster 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, all did not set lap times.
So obviously, people. I mean, I think Stube's going to be fairly happy with sitting 11th. However, I don't think personally it's worth sticking a medium on your car for this start, because I think you're going to be back in the pits in fairly short order. There's quite a high likelihood. Then again, it could work in your favour. It could be that sticking a medium on puts you somewhere towards the front if other people do crash out in the first few laps and end up creating a safety car. So it's a tricky one, but I think there's going to be a lot of action early on, and I think I would probably want to save my mediums for later in the race.
I agree. I think that whilst you can one-stop this race, as you pointed out earlier, it's so easy to lose it here. Therefore, the probability of a safety car with the walls being so close to the track is 1,000,000%. There will be safety cars.
There's a lot of places where you can get on the power on the curb just slightly wrongly, like Andrew showed, like Simba showed. You just in some of those sort of acceleration zones, if you just get on the curb at just that bit too early on the throttle, and it just sticks you straight in a wall.
It does. Turn 2 is one that I find an absolute atrocious corner. You have to short shift so quickly and stay off that left-hand curb on the exit when you get in on the power, and then avoid the right-hand exit curb. It's one that always catches me out, to be honest. And annoyingly, we had a stream on Thursday to allow Gaki Matthews to debut on his comms adventures,
I
spun it many times.
So anyway, so is this the first time that we have had a pair of well enunciated Southern voices commentating on Tier 2 together?
I've got a Southern voice. Well, unfortunately, I'm not Southern, and nor are you for that matter. But yes,
well,
I think it might well be.
I'm definitely a Southerner. Where are you from?
I live in the East Midlands, but I've lived all over.
Why do you sound like you're from the South? You posh twit.
I got called posh by a girl not very long ago, and I took it very offensively. For that matter. But that's another story for another day. That's not for here.
I'm from very south. I'm from Devon, so I'm definitely from
you
the
are.
South.
Are you right, me lover?
Well, I was hoping that we were going to be able to say that we were the suave Southerners, because I was keen to promote, the SS.
Oh, I see what you're doing there, and I'm not going to fall for it.
What? What have I said?
I'll let Gaff fill that one in. I was meant to be the Yorkshire twosome with Simba, and originally that's where me and my family hail from. But I can be the SS with you if you like. We can do that.
J Sarge is in the chat.
Who?
So the J Sarge, I believe he used to be a champion. Something or another. I don't know.
Doesn't ring a bell. I don't know who he is. Just some random poxy dude. Can he drive? J Sarge, whoever you are, if you can drive, let us know. Feel free to do a trial, prove yourself. But if this is too high end for you, then don't feel ashamed to not do so. Only joking, Jason. You know I love you, really. So, the camera angles are awful, so we're going to have an interesting look down towards turn 1 from behind some cars, it would appear. The game doesn't want us to look.
There's worse angles?
Well, Lando Norris's pedal cam, for example, right now will be pointless.
That would be pretty bad for a start, wouldn't it?
Indeed. Here we go. We've got some lights, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The finale is go! So, great start. Straight away from Fox and from Bergen. They're side by side heading down to turn 1. Bergen on the inside. Bergen goes for it. Nope, Fox is through. Very brave. Just looking back down the order. It looks like everyone is clean through.
They did. Damalek got an amazing start. He had such a quick reaction, and he'd taken.
Oh, we've got chaos. Dumbest Hornet Fox. And Commander Brave in a bit of collision. Fire Rooster was in the middle of that.
Fox ran wide.
Fox
and
is
lost
wide.
2 positions.
He is. You're well spotted. That means Bergen leads. Mark second. Fox third. Licious and Bergen maintain positions, but Damalek is 4 places up from his starting position.
He had such a lightning start. He literally took 2 people before the first corner.
Crazy start. Dumbest Hornets had 3 people pass him already. Not ideal. He's all over the back of Fanning, and he's got his teammate Stooge for his close company. Ooh, don't take each other out, boys. Further down the order, we've got the 2 Haas drivers side by side. Lorpy and Derry having a very tight fight. I think they just did. Remember, your teammates are not to be fought with too hard. You can if you want, but it's a bit brave. We've got Guy now attacking the back of Seb Mail. He's through around the outside. Is Seb Mail going to come back at him? He does, but will he get the exit? No, Guy is through. And for that matter, so is Stringy B.
Got 3 big losers running at the back. We've got Seb Mail, Red Car Rambo and Simba have all lost loads of positions. And we've got a yellow flag as well.
Yes, it's Lorpy. He's gone round to the penultimate corner. So Fanning's in the pits. He's got damage. That's not how our favourite Scouser wanted to start the weekend. Or the week even. End the weekend. You know what I mean? So, championship permutations as it stands would see Mr. Kyle Bergen lead out of this race and continue to lead the championship, therefore being Le Championes. Mark in P2 at the moment would stay third in the standings, with Fox being third in the race and therefore staying second overall as it stands. But I feel like this race has got a few twists and turns, literally and metaphorically, to come. So
yeah, I mean, so totally. I mean, we've got neither of our championship contenders are currently in the lead, so I think there's going to be a big fight on our hands pretty quickly.
Apart from Bergen, who's first in the championship, who's in the lead.
Sorry, that's not. That is correct.
Apart from the championship leader, who is winning.
Yeah, no, my mistake. I managed to not look at that correctly. My apologies.
It's all good. The Bergen fan club, of which I might be a member, rumour has it, would be very unhappy with these comments. So Stu said no.
I meant challenges.
I know, I'm only teasing, don't worry. So Bergen straight away the fastest lap, flying along. Got Red Car Rambo's up to 14th now, having dropped a few positions at the start, so obviously you've got a few people, such as Derry and Lorpy, colliding with each other. Multiple chaos going behind. We've got the championship fighters all at the front, chaotically chasing each other. Top 8 is starting to pull away somewhat. Dumbest Hornet in 9 has got a bit of a gap behind him to Vans. He's got another gap to Guy, who's now up to 11th. 8 positions up from his starting position. Monster, 8 positions up from his start too. Very good to see.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, I'm sure Monster's going to be very happy with that start off. The frustration of parking it in a wall in quali there. So that's just a good reward for him there.
Indeed. So some Paul and wants to say he's looking at the back of the Alpine of Monsieur Guy or Garçon, the French machine in the French machine. The Monster's looking tasty. He's looking hungry.
Yeah, well, as you said, if this is a track he particularly likes, then we can expect good things, right? I mean, he's
of course.
He definitely looks confident.
Guy's no slouch though. We saw both Guy and Monster in Tier 1 on their day having good pace, but not ultimately able to consistently show the pace. So they're both very quick.
Mark just went really deep into the penultimate corner, and Fox is now all over his gearbox.
He is. We're just on board with Fox now. He's lining up the inside. DRS is open. He's bailed out of it. Oh, he's gone a bit too deep into turn 1, and now Licious is all up his gearbox. Or to quote
I'm not
Connor,
sure Licious didn't just stick his wing into a tyre there.
Yes, Licious going around the outside in turn 3. He's just got off track. Oh, Fox and Licious collide, but no harm done. That was very hard racing.
People spinning and nothing happened. That was quite impressive that nobody span.
Meanwhile, all this has done is allowed Mark, who had, as you mentioned, that little moment, just to scarper away and gain some more composure. Bergen, meanwhile, 2.1 a clear of Mark at this stage. We're only on lap 4, but that's still quite a significant lead to have at this stage.
Yeah, well, but that mistake that Mark made cost him a bit of time, but he's actually made it back really quickly. And he's pulled away from Fox again very quickly as well. Since Fox was half a second behind him, he's now 2.8.
Fox has to beat Bergen today to have any chance of winning this title, and right now, being third, and with Licious, who's looking quick, all over the back of him, is not what he wanted, although Licious with a very questionable line into that corner there, rightfully takes a 3-second penalty. Let's debate that when we later, Licious, and then we'll just say no, that was a penalty. I'm just going to throw it out there, you had all 4 wheels off the track, sunshine. Anyway, Licious, he's looking like he's pushing, potentially a bit too hard, but he's got Calvin not far behind him as well, so the 2 Tier 3 drivers are clearly showing some good pace. Licious is off at turn 1. Ooh, and where does Calvin then smell blood? I'm sure he does. Calvin's lining him up. Calvin's around the outside turn 3. Just saw Licious go deep on the brakes here whilst fighting Fox. He's defended that well. Calvin's got to fight for another day. Damalek just in close quarters too, as is Jacob.
Monster did get past Guy. He's now all over the back of Frank and looking very tasty. And Guy misjudged his braking into at the end of the first straight and nearly went straight up the back of Andrew.
Indeed. So the biggest winner so far in this race is Monster. He's 9 places up from his starting position. 9 places.
Looking very racy on those medium tyres as well.
He is. Let's just bring up the tyres graphic here just to show you all who has what. So, as it stands, you just mentioned there, Monsters on the mediums. He's joined on the mediums by Vans, Guy, Stringy B, Lorpy, Stube, Sebmail, and Derry, who's picking for a set of mediums already in this race. Everyone else is on a set of softs. The only people who have picked for new tyres so far are Derry and Fanning. And Monster likely does take, is that turn 12? I think
that was a very interesting place to overtake.
Move. Has Fan's got a problem because he's a bit slow on the exit there, and now Guy and Stringy are looking at him into the penultimate corner. Oh, he's gone deep into the penultimate corner, and that's going to cost him. Guy goes through. Stringy B's going to go around the outside, and he does. Ooh, not a good final end to the lap for Vans. Frank will be disappointed.
Disastrous few corners.
Got Ryan of Red Car chasing him down. He's got his Senna tribute helmet on this week.
So back up at the front, Mark is closing down that gap to Bergen.
He is. He's only 1.1 behind. Bear in mind he was 2 and a bit behind, only 2 laps to go. And we did say it was quite a significant lead. Fox, meanwhile, was only a second back from Mark, so he's not dropping back either. If anything, this could get tasty. I've just noticed Licious has lost a few positions, as we noticed earlier. He's getting a bit pricey for turn 1. Damalek is through as well now, as is Jacob. So Licious down to 7th. Calvin up to 4th, Damalek 5th, Jacob 6th. So Jacob's fight for 2nd and 3rd is still on. We have had some yellow flags in the first sector. I'm not sure who it's for, but we'll have to stay with the front fight because it's looking tasty.
Well, I'm pleased to say that our early prediction that there would be a safety car almost straight away is absolutely unfounded, and all 20 cars are still running, despite the fact that we are obviously already 6 laps into this race.
Indeed. I can only hope that can continue for as long as possible, but we shall see. So Bergen's just pulled a few tenths back on Mark on the end of that lap. He's back up to 1.7 seconds. 1.1 is the gap between Mark and Fox. So none of those guys having DRS just yet. But Calvin's looking tasty, within a second of Fox in the system Mercedes. So he's looking to do Mark a favour.
He is. He's using that. Actually, do you know what? Mark has got absolutely loads of ERS. He's got 92% battery left, whereas Fox is down to 14, 16. It's gone back up again. But and Bergen is at 50%. So Mark could chase him down significantly if he used a bit more of his battery, actually. bit more deployment, and I think he'd be doing the same lap times as Bergen is, to say the very, very least, because he's obviously got him pegged in terms of lap time. That gap isn't really changing, but if he bashed that battery button a bit more, then I think he would start seeing that gap close down.
You just used pegged and bash in the same sentence, and I'm not sure how I feel about it.
I know, it was
that
entirely
intentional?
accidental. No, of course it wasn't. I don't even know. Way too innocent for all this stuff.
Yes.
I'm just watching Mark pegging Bergen.
Yes, I'm just watching. Oh, Stringy B's retired. Are we going to get the safety car?
He has.
And we have a virtual. Fox is pitted, as does Calvin. They're seizing the opportunity. It was just too late for Bergen. It's a full safety car. Wow. It's gone full. So Mark and Bergen have gone past the safety car, thankfully for them. That's a relief.
It's in the same place as Monster crashed.
So Fox is onto a set of mediums. Calvin's gone for a set of hards. So Calvin's going for a 1-stop. Fox looking at maybe a 2-stop. Damalek, 5J Rooster, and Licious also going for a medium. Interesting. So all the grid looks to be pitting. Ryan's got a pit lane speeding penalty. Not good.
Now, did that come out too late for Mark and Bergen?
It did. They were literally both going past the pit entrance. They couldn't make it in, whereas it was perfect for Fox and Calvin, who were at the point of the line, so they could swing in. But as we just saw, the front two passed the safety car, so they can get round without losing any time, hopefully.
What's the pit lane loss here? Because Monster has stayed out as well on his mediums. I think that may have been by choice.
I think with the VSC and safety car, I think it's around 10 to 12 seconds, I believe.
Right,
so
okay.
They'll both come out a few positions down on where they currently are. So probably back where they were if they pick this lap. If they don't, they're gambling on more safety cars coming out at opportune moments for them.
Yeah, but I mean, those softs around here don't last particularly well, do they?
No, they don't. The medium definitely is the better tyre to be on. I quite like the hard in practice, although I'm a little bit crazy and chaotic with my tyres, so I like the harder rubber. Bergen sees the opportunity to pit.
They've both pitted. Yeah, they've both pitted.
Mark, wise move. Let's see what tyres they go for. So on board with the AlphaTauri of the Bergen. Actually, Jumbo and Mark's heel pit first. So Mark's in, he's got mediums. On board with Bergen now. He's also gone mediums. So as we thought, they're going to match each other and they're going to match everyone else. The three outliers here, Calvin, Hornet, both on the hards, and interestingly, Guy goes on soft. Ooh.
Monster's going to lose out here because he must have missed the entrance as well, actually.
So interestingly, Vans obviously now takes the lead, having not pitted. He's the final outlier in all of this. The only person not to have pitted, other than Derry, and Derry's at the back. So if I was Derry, if you're listening here, Mr. Derry, put a new set of tyres on. You'll lose one position maximum. It's worth it.
He's probably hoping for a safety car again, isn't he?
Of course, you've got to gamble on it at some point in life, and why not? But because
ultimately, even if his pace isn't great on compared to the fresh tyres, and he tumbles down and loses a few positions, he'll come out. If there's another safety car, he's still going to have had a net gain from where he was. So seems to make sense because he'd fallen down to, was it 12th after that succession of passes that all happened in the same lap. He was somewhere down there, early teens, I think, because I think he was 10th and then started losing positions. So he'd have to lose out in quite a big way to end up worse off.
Indeed.
So maybe that's some smart tic-tacticals there.
Tic-tacticals. Speaking of food tic-tacs, did you know Australia is the home of Vegemite, which is a Marmite alternative? Do you like Marmite or Vegemite for that matter?
I've never tried Vegemite, but I have to admit, right, they say you either hate it or you love it, right? I used to hate it, and then someone let me stay at their house for a weekend whilst they were away, whilst I was on a training course, and all they had, and the shop was shut, all they had was bread and Marmite.
Oh dear.
And I was like, oh God, what do I do? And I was like, I'll try a little bit of this, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Can't get enough of it, and I slather it on as thick as possible, and my girlfriend refuses to talk to me.
Oh dear. Well, to be fair, I kind of can empathise with you because, well, I would just have.
Does my girlfriend refuse to talk to you as well?
Well, I've never tried, but I'm not gonna suggest messaging her. That would be weird. But yeah, please drop it in the comments. If you like Marmite, drop it in the comments. I will ask the local authorities to check your hard drives if you like it. Anywho, I'm not a fan, obviously. Other things, Australia, the lights of the week that we don't really know about. They eat kangaroo out there. Did you know that?
I've actually had a kangaroo steak at one point. I think
Really?
I went to an Aussie. I think I went to an Aussie themed restaurant in the UK and had a kangaroo steak. If I remember right.
Oh,
But yeah, no, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I guess you eat what you've got, don't you?
well, yeah, it's like the Koreans eat dog. Some places they eat beetles and foursomes of little beasties. We eat sheep. The Welsh do other things with sheep, and yeah, the Australians eat kangaroos.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that I don't think everybody goes home at night and goes, oh, how are we having the kangaroo cooked tonight? How are we having our kangaroo cooked tonight, Ma? I don't think that's how it works. I'm not sure it's like that commonplace, but
You never know.
yeah. But anyway, so whilst we're looking at the safety car and we're talking about Australia, I'm starting to worry about Danny Rick. He's like one of my favourite drivers, and he's clearly having a dreadful season, and I'm starting to worry for his entire career at this point.
I have to say, his form at HRT, Toro Rosso, Red Bull, and Renault, he was able to maximise all of those cars, and he doesn't seem to be able to do this in McLaren. I think it's a problem with him and the McLaren. I don't think he's necessarily the problem. I just think we've seen Danny Rick extremely aggressive on both brakes and the steering in previous teams, and he's not able to do it, McLaren.
No, but I'm
There's
just
nowhere else
starting
he
to
can
worry
move
that.
to. That's the problem.
No, and this is what worries me is, if this continues, he's got nowhere to go. All I can see him doing is leaving the sport. I can't see him finding a drive anywhere else because his stock must be currently so low. The safety car is in.
Yes.
There was no call, was there?
There was a call, but we were talking Danny Rick.
okay.
And Vans has gone early. Bergen's stuck with him. Mark's dropping back slightly, but Fox is all over him. And behind them, awful camera angles. Everyone seems to be in sort of a formation, although Stube is somewhat back from Coming the Brave. Or we've got a McLaren diving up the inside in turn one. Lucius having a look at Stube. Oh
Vans
no!
is round.
Vans is round. No! He was bracing out on those tyres, and Lucius has hit him.
Oh god, that's Lucius. That could well be another safety car straight away.
Oh dear. Unfortunate for Lucius, he was having a good race.
The game may not throw a safety car because there's enough time for all the cars to get around before, before that gets cleared. So I think that might not throw a safety car.
Indeed.
That was a big old crash, though.
It's a disaster really for Lucius. He had quite a good start and was doing a fairly well balanced job actually in the McLaren, to be fair to him. Jacob's taken fifth from Calvin, I can see. We're currently on board with the front three. So the top three have just roared away again. They're separated by a second. That's Bergen, Mark and Mr. Foxy Bingo, as Jav likes to call him.
Well, do you know what Fox River 8 is actually a reference to?
Oh, Prison Break, of course.
Yeah, okay, just checking. Yeah, okay. There's a few people that have names that clearly reference something, but you don't necessarily know whether people appreciate the effort that they've gone to.
I'm not sure Stringy D appreciated my nickname for him because I heard him get called Cheese String and I turned that into Cheesy Willy because he's in a Williams. And apparently that was a bit too far, I got sold. So.
Well, I would also just like to give a shout out to Baldy Baldy, which is Carl, isn't it? Who says in the comments that Marmite is lovely on crumpets, and that is the king way of doing a crumpet. Marmite and then cheese, and you grill it on. Oh, it's amazing.
No, and no. As I said earlier, Matthew Sullivan, aka the Geckmeister, the Gecko, he says a no for him. I agree with you. It's a no.
Well, you're entitled to your opinion, even though it's entirely wrong. Oh, and we've got a good fight happening between Laupi and Call Me the Brave right now.
I'm gonna drop back.
Wheels
side by side on the exit.
And Laupi lives to
hanging
fight
on.
another day.
Although Brave's got a great run on him.
Oh, this is a
But
bad
Laupi
place
on
to
the
go side by
inside.
side.
Oh, Brave's gone very brave on the outside. Oh, and Brave's round.
And there you go. That is what happens
place to go for it.
Yeah, that's what happens when you go side by side there.
So Ryan, by the way, shout out to Ryan, who's up to 8th. Bear in mind that he was 19th at one point on that one. He's now in 8th. I'm going to call him Sergio Perez after the Perez's drive yesterday.
Yeah, he was someone that the safety car definitely helped, wasn't he?
Oh, 1000%. I feel slightly sorry for Lewis and Charles because without the safety car, I think Charles would have won and Lewis would come second. I'm happy for Carlos.
Yeah, I'm not convinced that Ferrari had a strategy call to play to hold Lewis off, to be honest with you. But what aggravated me was in the commentary on the race. They were saying, "Oh, here's a safety car. This is really going to help Lewis." And I'm sat there thinking, "No, it's going to absolutely destroy Lewis's race. What are you talking about?"
I was thinking the same as I thought Perez on brand new softs, right on their gearbox. That can't be good for anyone. Guy's just fitted, by the way. Guy's just fitted for another set of mediums. That's interesting. He must have caught some damage. Monster down in 18th again. Something's gone wrong for him. He's been round. Stu and Monster have dropped way back from the rest of the order. But we are on board with Mark. The Hodge is chasing down Bergen. Ooh, Fox Rose left the session. Has he got an internet problem?
I was going to say he's starting to fall away.
His car's still in the race, so he must have an internet problem. Mark's got DRS on Bergen, chasing down into the final sector. Here we go. Could Mark be lining him up for one of the 3 DRS zones? Maybe into turn 3. I think that's personally, in my opinion, the best place to go for it. Turn 1 just comes a bit too quickly for me. Nothing worse than coming quickly. Mark's lost a little bit of time out the final corner, but he's got the DRS. He's homing in on the Alpha Tauri. If he can get a good run through turns 1 and 2, he could be in position for turn 3. Bergen a little bit twitchy through turn 2. Mark's just not close enough. But it looks at this stage that Mark has got slightly more pace than Bergen at this moment. Bergen does not need to win this race to get the championship. Interestingly, Jacob's now up to 3rd. Fox River still not connected back in the game yet. He's down in 5th. This is disastrous for him.
That's very, very bad news for him. I feel very sorry for him. That's not good.
Doubly disappointing is obviously the AI drives a lot slower than the normal pace that, of course, Jake would normally drive at.
So I'm just watching Mark. Mark is much quicker on corner exits.
Just on board now with the corner exit from that chicane there. He absolutely flew, and he's got 95% ERS. Bergen has got Mark 62.
He needs to start using his ERS.
I think this is going to be the moment. This has got to be it, surely. He's got all the ERS. He's not using it, though. Why is Mark not using it?
I don't know.
It's like he didn't want to go for it. If he'd used it, though, he might have got alongside. Mark, if you're listening, please deploy.
I don't think we should be giving driver coaching tips over the commentary somehow.
Why not?
I think it could be seen as favouritism.
Oh, Guy has retired from the session. No. He's lost it at turn 6, and it's another safety car.
Oh dear.
Now,
well, that's
this will be interesting. Do you pit? That's the question. Do you pit now and gamble on a fresh set of mediums, knowing you can go to the end? That's the debate.
Or hards, I suppose.
I wouldn't want to go on the hards. I think the mediums would do just suffice if you had a fresh set.
Yeah, I think. I'm just wondering what people might have left.
That's a good point.
This is personally, I think this is an absolutely appalling track for hard tyres. I absolutely felt there was no grip on them at all. But it's one of the things in the new game I've noticed is that the hards seem to be less horrific to use, and tyre warm up is way more realistic. You come out on a medium, and it definitely takes a good lap before a medium starts working.
Interesting. I've not personally encountered that. I've only done a few 5-lappers here and there.
Yeah, well, like I said, I started a career, so I've done a 50% race, definitely thought that the tyres were working quite a lot differently to this game. So, what's going to happen at the end of this lap? We're going to find out in a few seconds, aren't we?
Indeed. I think it's worth a gamble. If you're Mark or Jacob right now, I think it's worth a gamble to put a fresh set of mediums on and go to the end on those. If you're Bergen, I think you've got to stay out. Nope, both Mark and Bergen continue, as does Damalek. Jacob, however, does pit, so he's thinking what I'm thinking, which is gamble, get some fresh rubber and see if the other driver's tyres fall away. Which inevitably will.
sometimes like it's whether you can make the deck suddenly start all flicking into the pits, isn't it? But no one else has copied him, so it's at the moment it's sending him backwards. But he's going to be.
He's down in 10th at the moment. He's going to stay in 10th. So he's only lost 5 or 6 positions. He's on much fresher tyres now, though. Interestingly, Fox River is back in the session. That's some good news for everyone. I know he's lost a fair bit of time. He's not quite taken control of his car yet, but he's down in 5th. It's not the end of the world. He can still fight back from there. But the problem he's got is Bergen and Mark's teammates are ahead of him, so forming rear buffers to both of them. So that's the problem that both Fox and Bayern Rooster have now, is that the Merc and AlphaTauris are going to work together here. Well, you'd hope, for their sake.
Yeah, I mean, I was just looking at who's on what tyres. I've got to say, I think Stubb's going to be in trouble come the end. I think everyone who's just stuck a set of softs on is going to go to the end, but I'm not sure that Stubbs will, because there's 13 laps to go. His tyres are 4 laps old. I'm not sure you're going to get 17 laps out of a set of softs.
I don't think that's possible, personally. I know people say it's possible, but it's not.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that you can probably get into last, but it might be like driving on Vegemite.
Have you ever done a Tim Tam Slam? There's another thing from the land down under.
I don't go to those sorts of clubs.
What about the biscuit? You are taking the biscuit. It's a biscuit.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, some Australia facts for you Drongo. Did you know that it's actually quite fitting that we're finishing the season here at Australia? Because back when, I'm sure you remember, back when we used to race at Adelaide rather than Melbourne, we used to have the season finales back there in Adelaide, in Australia. So it's quite fitting we're finishing the season in Australia. But
yeah, so I mean, Adelaide it was home to one of the most upsetting moments of my entire life, which was watching
1994.
Yeah, I'm a huge Damon Hill fan, and I was absolutely gutted. And to be honest with you, for many years after that, I despised Michael Schumacher with an incredibly fiery passion. Although these days, to be honest with you, as his career progressed, and he started to mellow a little bit, I actually grew to love the guy. But that race, oh my god, it was so upsetting.
Of course.
It's one of those moments where you just think, oh, Damon, if either Damon had just let Schumacher continue, or Schumacher hadn't wildly cheated, Damon would have been a 2-time world champion, and probably had more confidence to continue as well. I mean, he was a great, underrated driver, Damon Hill.
I agree.
You don't take a bloody Arrows Yamaha to almost a race win at Hungary if you're not a good driver when all the other cars are still on the track. Yeah.
Was it transmission that day, wasn't it?
I believe so. And then Villeneuve, I still hate Villeneuve. Villeneuve actually lives in the country I'm currently commentating from. Do you know that?
Does he really?
He lives in Andorra, yeah. So I could actually hunt him down and maybe, put dog poo through his letterbox or something. That'd be good.
Well, that's your prerogative. Did you know you can pay a company £5 to post anonymously feces of some form to people? You can actually pay that. Don't ask how I know. Oh, is it your business? Ah, this is your summer business.
It is. For an extra £5, it can be delivered to the doorstep in a brown paper bag on fire.
Well, we're learning many things about you, Martin.
Then they come out of the front door, see the burning thing, stamp on it to put it out, and then they get dog poo all over their foot.
So, what do you call this business?
Up close and personal.
Oh, I was going to go with well, yeah, gosh, you know what? That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Oh wow. Well,
anyway, back to Adelaide.
Yes, Adelaide. I thought it was quite a good track. I quite liked that track.
It was wildly dangerous, though. I mean, what I was about to say was, of course, that is where Mika Häkkinen's slightly wonky grin comes from. as Mika Hakkinen nearly died in Adelaide. And had to be saved. He had his life saved at the side of the track by Professor Sid Watkins, who did an emergency tracheotomy on him in his car.
Not fair play.
Basically he suffered a lot of serious injuries. I don't think it's something that gets really realised by a lot of people, but yeah, he very nearly died. He was super badly injured, and that's why his mouth doesn't work properly.
Oh, every day's a school day.
Because Mick is very famous for that lopsided grin that he has, but it's because his face is a bit broken, basically.
Oh, you see how he's in this lap.
Yeah.
So just having a quick look through here. So Bergen does lead, as we briefly touched on. It's the AlphaTauri Mercedes top 4 currently, with first and second being Bergen and Mark, 2 of the 4 high flyers in the championship. As it stands, Bergen will take the championship. Mark will just take position of Fox for second overall, and Fox will be third. Jacob will stay fourth. As it stands, Jacob currently 10th and Fox in 5th. Fox did have some issues with connection for those who weren't here, so did lose a couple of positions. I'm sure he'll be ready to fight back as firmly as ever. Jacob on an alternative strategy, pitted when no one else fancied it, and he's on much fresher rubber, although the guys behind him on brand new softs could cause him a couple of problems, That could be interesting. He could actually be outdone by people on a similar strategy to him. So Bergen's back to pack up, and the safety car is gone, so will he drop it early, or will he wait till the last minute? He's waited quite late, and I think he's left that a bit too late, because Mark is right with him. As is Damalek.
With him.
I think he's left that a bit too late, personally. But here we go. Bergen's turn 1. Doesn't look like we're getting any position changes through the first corner. Ooh, very twitchy from Damalek. That was Damalek and the other AlphaTauri. And Mark's on the inside. On turn 3. Bergen's gone very deep. Derry has just retired. We've got Damalek off track. We've got a couple of cars off track, including Damalek.
Both the AlphaTauris have lost out in the same corner.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Simmer's up to 7th by, little note to point out. And Ryan's up to 4th in the McLaren. Wow. How did he make that move? I'd love to see that. We're too busy watching the top 3. Calvin now in the other Mercedes is doing a fantastic job in 3rd place.
To be fair to Mark, he did everything he could to force that error from Bergen. That wasn't Bergen just being a bit daft and running deep. Bergen was defending as best as he could, and probably just didn't have warm enough front tyres to be able to kind of take the line that he was hoping to take to give the space. So it was good, respectful racing.
It was,
and that was a good move from Mark, and it was a fair bit of play from Bergen as well.
Completely agree. We've got Fox, who's as hungry and ready to pounce as ever, all over the back of Ryan McLaren, who's had a fantastic recovery, back up to 4th. Jacob and the Ferrari, brand new medium tyres, has lit them up straight away. He's up to 6th. Derry's retirement, and obviously therefore left the session, as we just seen. So Jacob is all over the back of Fox. This could be insult to injury for Fox, who's obviously unfortunately lost out through internet connection. Could be about to be passed now by Jacob.
You could see the acceleration difference for those fresh tyres out of that corner, couldn't you?
Yes, in fact, one with Jacob now, he's had so much more grip through turn 1s and 2. As I said earlier, the new tyres definitely worth it, and Jacob's through before the braking zone. Incredible. So
nicely done, Jake.
Fox right now, I have to say, he's really in a bit of peril here. If he wants the championship, or even a top 2 in the championship, he's really got to get some moves done. And he's on the back foot.
He'd be at the sharp end entirely if it wasn't for that disconnect that he had. So I feel very sorry for him there.
Oh, I do agree with you. Jacob, meanwhile, now onto his next victim, Ryan of Redcar in the McLaren, his old team and your old team. It looks like a matter of time before Jacob takes Ryan. He's just got so much more grip on these new tyres right now.
Even Simba's quietly come back up to 8th as well there.
He has, and Stu is up to 9th, which is interesting to see. Another one that's worth pointing out is Calvin. He's on the hards. He's dropping back slowly from the front 2, who we know are 2 of the fastest guys in MRC at the moment. But he's on a slower tyre. We've got an Aston Martin round. It's fanning. He's lost it at the high-speed chicane. Oh, unlucky Thomas.
Vans is having a race to forget. Vans has been back in the pits yet again.
He has. He came in at the end of the safety car period, which is the absolute worst possible time he could pit. He must have had some damage.
Yeah, that's all I can think of, really. He's had 4 stops. So he's gone from hero last week to zero, unfortunately.
Fanning has just retired. Meanwhile, Corbin the Brave, the fastest lap of the race. Fanning's just lost it on the way into the final sector. So Bergen's not...
I'm just going to go on board with Laupy and see if I can see where that is.
Let's have a look. Just on board with him now.
It's a strange place to go. It's on the entrance.
Yeah,
how's he...
To be fair to him, he had lost it in the high-speed chicane, so maybe he just lost the rears under braking with a bit of hot temperature tyres, lost the rear end or caught the grass on the way in, maybe. That's the only thing I can think of.
He's made it a very long way before hitting a wall, though, hasn't he?
Or maybe he lost it on get-going and just pirouetted down the straight. Meanwhile, Bergen has not let Mark run away. DRS is now a factor, and I'm sure Bergen will have it here. He is within range.
As is Calvin. However, Calvin has a 3-second penalty to account for, and red car down in 5th has got 5. Because he had a piece of
safety car,
didn't he?
We have a safety car. It's a very late call for a safety car, but we have got another car around. I believe it's Simba. Simba's in the wall.
Oh no!
The Lion King has lost his wing. He's not lost the wheel yet, thankfully, but he has big damage.
Oh, Mark, I'm sorry. That's probably my fault for just saying how well you were doing. I'm sorry, mate. So, whilst we are...
interesting. Bergen and Mark are both pitting. They're going to go for a set of softs, aren't they?
Yeah, I can't say I'm massively surprised by that, but it's opening things up for people
and
that want to roll the dice.
Everyone in the top 8 has pitted. The only person who hasn't pitted is Seb Mail. Interestingly, Seb Mail, and Fox River's not pitted actually. I take it back.
Fox is out.
Fox has gambled. He's clearly feeling a little bit wronged by the various incidents earlier, and he's clearly gambling. I did this in season 6, and it got me up position. I think it was 2nd or 3rd. I dropped down the order and finished 10th. So I'm not sure how I feel about it. Meanwhile, someone's just been disqualified. Fox River's just been disqualified. We're just on board with him. He's just been disqualified. But
what's happened there?
That's weird. We're on board with him now. I'm not sure why, but he's just been disqualified. Let's have a look at race director. Let's have a look at race director. So race director's exact wording here, I'm just going to scroll through, there's a lot of things to scroll through, is ignoring a yellow flag. Wow. You know what, there's a championship riding on this here, and that's just been completely settled for Fox.
Very, very odd.
That's a horrible glitch we're definitely seeing there. I can only imagine Jake right now is going to be livid, and who can blame him?
Well, just whilst we're waiting for this safety car to collect everybody up, shall we also just remember that we need to suggest people vote for their driver of the day?
Yes. So, for those who are in the Discord, please have a look at our driver of the day poll. I believe it's just been posted as well. Mindful Wasp has just dropped it in there, which is fantastic. Please vote for your driver of the day. Obviously, all votes are very much appreciated. We love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even need to be in the Discord to vote for the driver of the day, because that will be in the description as well, I believe, won't it?
It should be. I've not put it in because I don't know how to do it because I'm a simple.
Oh, okay. You can't do that, and it won't be. Sorry.
Yes. Sorry, everyone. Because last time there was some links posted, there was some issues with YouTube banning things, so I decided I wasn't going to mess around with it. Speaking of issues, Vans and Seb Mel, the only two people who didn't put on a brand new set of softs when the safety car came out. So Seb Mail leads the race with Mark, Bergen and Calvin and his teammate Fajay Rooster all over the back of him. And the safety car probably comes at the end of this lap. Corbin the Brave is pitching again, mind. Could Seb Mail run out of grip in the next couple of laps, or will he actually have the pace?
Well, he's got 6 laps to do. He's done 8, but he's going to be doing a few under the safety car. So I think, those tyres will go to the end without too much issue. It's really whether, how much grip they're going to deliver to defend from everybody else behind, all the way down to, literally the entire grid behind him. So it could be a stroke of genius, or it could actually work out to be a bit of a disaster. But
yes.
There's not many laps left. There's only going to be, half of these laps aren't going to have DRS.
Exactly.
So it's a gamble worth taking, because obviously it's probably going to elevate his points position. Certainly won't be much worse off than he was before. So
yeah. So as you pointed out, 6 laps will remain after this lap, 3 of which will be DRS activated and 3 will not. So yeah, you're right. It's going to be a tight fight to the finish. Seb's just going to have to gamble on other people fighting to allow him to scarp it. But can he reenact what Leclerc did yesterday in the Ferrari on older tyres, which frankly should have fell off compared to everyone else's knee softs. Can he reenact that?
Sorry, I was I was reading comments. I do apologise.
I haven't had a look at YouTube chat. I probably should have a little look.
I tuned out. There's a certain amount of sympathy for Fox, obviously. Roundy is in there, sort of giving him commiserations. Carl is talking about the 90s, like I was. He's just talking about the fact that Mika's wonky face didn't stop him from winning his 2 titles, obviously. Which and the safety car's coming in already.
Indeed. So we are going to get the 6 laps we thought. So Seb Mail's going to have to back him up very quickly because the safety car coming in very late. So he's not going to get long to back them all up. Is he going too early? I think he just tried to go too early. He's got the safety car limiter hit him. But he has gone now. He's got an okay lead, but frankly, Mark's read him.
It wasn't too bad.
I think Mark's just going to rein him in here, though. Obviously, much nicer tyres. This is going to be interesting to see. So Seb Mail leads.
Don't think Mark really needed to try on the restart, to be honest with you, because he knows he's going to start making time up on him immediately throughout the lap anyway.
And look how much Mark's gained just under braking there, and then through turn 3 apex. Wow, look how much he's just reined him in. Calvin's taken Bergen. That's crucial for this championship. Because whilst Fox River, just realised, Fox River's disqualification glitch has just confirmed Bergen's champion.
Well, there you go. Yes.
Bergen's dropped to 5th, by the way, but it's irrelevant. He's completely and utterly guaranteed because Bergen could have only been caught by Fox. Seb Mail, meanwhile, is going to be passed by Mark any moment. It just matters. It's a matter of when, not if.
Yeah, don't do it into there, Mark.
No.
We've already seen what happens when you do it into there. Oh, look at the exit difference.
Seb Mail just lost all grip mid-corner there. So we've got 2 Ferraris, 2 Mercedes at the front end. Where have we seen that before? Oh, the 4 brush into the... Oh my gosh! Into the... Is that turn 13? That was brave. And now we have a Mercedes 1-2. Mark and Calvin 1-2. Seb and Fire Joe Rooster in 3rd and 4th. Bergen 5th. And we got Bergen up the inside of Jacob there. That was a bold move. Jacob looks like he's pitting. I think Jacob's got a problem. That's a disaster for the Ferrari driver. So Bergen back
to be in for a wing, hasn't he?
Yes. Stubbs up to 5th. He's had a very good race in the Alfa Romeo. Good to see.
Yeah, that has actually worked out because he was on the oldest tyres, wasn't he, at one point?
He does have a few races where things do tend to go wrong for him. He's a bit unlucky with that, but he's having a great race today, to be fair to him. And just behind him, you've got Damalek and Mornster, again hungry for a recovery after earlier issues, and Ryan of Raycar again fighting back through into the points.
Well, I'm hoping now that the 2 Mercs at the front just kind of be sensible and hold position, because as the reserve driver, hopefully Calvin will respect the seniority of the team leader and not take him out.
Got Lorpy round in the first sector, and Bergen is now up ahead of Seb Mail. This is crucial. Seb Mail holding up everyone behind him. Damalek and Stuber side by side, heading to the high speed chicane. Let's just jump into this fight here. We're on board with Damalek. Stu's held the move, and he's up to 5th. Can Stu take Seb Mail with a DRS here? Well, DRS next lap, actually, apologies.
Calvin has unfortunately just picked up a penalty, which means that
Damalek's on the inside! What a move! That was
pretty impressive.
Ryder in the wall! Ryan and Monster have just collided, and they are in the wall, and I'm sure that will be in the stewards' chat for later. And we have another safety car.
Oh my god.
Oh,
yeah, well, I was just about to say this Mercedes 1-2 is very unlikely to happen, I think, because Calvin has just picked up a 3-second penalty.
He has, and Bergen, with the pace he's got, I'm not expecting him to fall more than 3 seconds back. Vans has got a safety car penalty exceeding the speed delta. That's a disaster.
Oh, Frank, this is going from bad to worse, isn't it? At the very least, this has just been. I bet Frank cannot wait to get this race finished and go and have a cup of tea, because it's just been a litany of constant suffering for him all night. I feel quite bad for the guy.
He's just had a disaster of a race. If it could go wrong, it has. And we now only have 12 runners of the 20 that started still in this race. 4 laps to go. I expect safety cars to be in this lap because the field is quite close. Maybe next lap at the latest. So we will still get 3 laps of running, but that is DRS almost certainly done for the race.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Mark
So
right
it's
now
going to be
will
all
be
about.
hopeful to hang on track. Bergen, whilst it looks like, even if he was to DNF now, it looks to me like the championship over. Awful glitch in the case of Fox River 8. Safety car is in this lap. But nevertheless, I'm sure they'll all want to fight for pride, and a win is a win at the end of the day.
Yep. Calvin is glitching horribly.
Yeah, I think he's got some internet issues from the look of things.
Yeah, he's leaping around the track. I noticed it earlier on the race. He's teleporting, unfortunately. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, at the moment, this is working nicely for Seb Mail. That tactic, it's not going too badly, is it?
You know what? Those tyres, I think, through the second safety car, will be better off for it, than he would have been otherwise. The amount of wear he's probably got now, especially with the lack of DRS, he'll hang on. Anyway, let's jump back to the front. So, Mark leaves the pack round, and he's going already. He's got a fantastic getaway. Actually, I say fantastic, it's not quite as good as I thought, but Calvin, his rear gunner, is with him. You'd expect, as you said there, Calvin to hang on and defend for him. So, Bergen...
Calvin's up to
chasing.
6 seconds of penalties now. So this is actually... He's suddenly looking... He's had to work very hard to get points at this rate.
He is. Ooh, Bergen's gone very aggressive in turn 3. Stu's picked up another penalty, that's unfortunate. And we've got Seb Mail on those used softs with Damalek right up behind him. I imagine that the AlphaTauri driver is going to make a move. In fact, wow, he's already making a move up the inside into turn 7. I think it's turn 7, and he's through. Wow, what's not a place you normally see a move, but fair play. That's the new tyres really just working for you.
Yeah, Seb went very, very wide and deep. So.
Yeah, he doesn't have much left in tyres. Dennis Hornet has got Jacob all over the back of him. Jacob's on a mission from God to recover positions, and he's at the inside.
Always scares me here.
He's got this one done. Oh, he's squeezing him though. Yeah, he's
takes a
done
bit of
now.
cooperation, doesn't it?
Yeah, you've got to have trust in the other driver, really. And thankfully, on this occasion, I think they both knew what they were doing. So, interesting formation here. We've got Mercedes, AlphaTauri, Ferrari in the top 6.
I think that's going to rearrange a bit post penalties, unfortunately. So that synchronicity isn't going to last. But
I think Seb Mail needs to play the team game and let Jacob through. This is for championship position.
Jacob nearly hit him. He had so much more traction out of that corner.
Definitely underestimating his teammates' lack of grip. And to be fair, he's 3. Jacob didn't have to fight too hard, so didn't fight him back. So, we've got Morgenstern on the back of Vans. Both of them had a few calamities in this race, but still in the points, making it to the end is always important. Stube has had to pit, unfortunately. It looks like he's picked up some damage, as has Simba. Both of them looking like they've got wing damage, but we'll turn back to the front. Mark just ticking over nicely, doesn't look like he's pushing too hard. Calvin, his rear gunner, is just right with him. And then, of course, Bergen just sitting there, ready to pounce. He doesn't need to take positions for this championship, it is done.
Yeah, I think it's going to be... I think it's... it's unlikely things are going to... I think Seb Mail is kind of still at risk, but I think there's not an awful lot of likelihood of things changing significantly now based on penalties, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's very easy to pick up a penalty here. Obviously, Calvin and Damalek have both picked up some penalties. It's very easy to pick them up here. Obviously, you can push track limits a bit, but ultimately, it's, especially with how sharp some of the curving corners are, you can sort of just run over them a bit and pick up some time. So we start the final lap. Let's run it on board with Mark, and then let's run on board with Bergen, who is almost certainly going to take the championship, and then we'll cross the line with whoever is going to lead the race to the end. Jacob just takes the fastest lap of the race, 24.7. So that extra point for him in 5th place, that puts him up... Actually, where will that put Jacob? 11 points, would jump him nowhere actually, he would stay 4th. As it stands, Mark...
Okay?
Yeah, no, I just realised I've got my numbers in front of me. Mark, currently 11 points behind Fox, would obviously with the 25 points for the win, would go 2nd as it stands, which could become crucial with potential promotions and demotions across the tiers. That's also why Mark will be adamant to get this win, is he will want the tier 1 spot. We don't know how many positions will be up for grabs as of yet, but obviously the higher you finish, the better your chances are. We have got a yellow flag in the first sector. Oh no! It's Jacob, he's gone round. There's been a bit of a pile up. Bergen's got 3 seconds suddenly. So that's just denied him of second place, and that's going to give Calvin potentially. Ooh, Simba didn't fulfill the tyre requirement. Simba's been disqualified.
Calvin is just over 3 seconds ahead of Bergen, which means that at the moment, he's got a net P2.
And Simba's been disqualified, but apparently he didn't use all the tyre compounds, but I'm pretty sure he has.
There's been so many stops, he must have done, surely.
You'd have thought so. We're going to jump on board now. Obviously, Mark has just won this race. Fantastic for Mark. Calvin comes second. Bergen third. Mr. Champion, we should say now. Jacob, interesting finish across the line from Jacob. Just caught on stream. There's been a bit of a pile-up actually there. Jacob, Sebmail, Mornister across the line, and now Damalek. So people celebrating in interesting fashion across the line. We're going to say very little about that, I think.
Yeah, that's not
Vans is going to come across the line now to take 10th. After a very chaotic race, he's going to take a point. It could be a lot worse. You can see a few of the cars just piled up there. I'm going to say no more. And of course, Morgan Stube is just coming around the final corner to complete the 11 finishes across the line.
Mark's going to be very happy with that. I know that he was pretty gutted after the last race to lose out on penalties and removals and various other things. So, to be fair, he's earned that one. He was absolutely dogged in his chasing down of Bergen for the whole race. And obviously, eventually managed to make it pay off by just managed to get his tyres in the window a bit more quickly. Made that move, and he didn't look back, did he, after that?
Yeah, I've got to say, that was a very mature drive from Hodge, who, as we all know from how long he's been in this league and how good a driver he is, we all know this full well. He knows what he's doing. Bergen, obviously, congratulations on, it's a provisional result, but I don't see how this could change. Bergen appears to be our Tier 2 champion. So, wow. That's
he's been on fire, hasn't he?
Tier 2 Season 7 concludes here. Wow. What's your thoughts on this season? It's been a crazy one, actually.
It's been very, very close, hasn't it? I kind of gutted that I wasn't part of it, really. But
that's your own fault because you ran away with it last season, so you wouldn't have been in it anyway. If I dare say it myself. But it's been a lot closer than it was last season. That's for definite.
Yeah, but no, I mean, Bergen's had electric pace all season, so fair play to him. That's very, very well deserved.
So we're just going to run through the order quickly. It's not going to show too much difference, but obviously Mark, congratulations on taking the track win and also the actual race result win, pending all penalties of course. Calvin, our Tier 3 reserve, stepping up to Tier 2, incredible job to take second. Bergen, third place, which confirms him almost certainly, unless some crazy witchcraft happens, as our Tier 2 champion. Jacob in fourth, after a lot of chaos throughout the race. It's a great drive from him. Sebmail with the Ferrari held on for fifth. Dumbest Hornet, the Alfa Romeo, 6th, Laupi 7th, Damalek 8th, the other AlphaTauri. That's their Constructors' Championship confirmed already before this weekend, but makes it look a bit stronger. Monster, up and down race, but he's gone from last to 9th. Got some crucial 2 points there, and Van's in 10th again, picking up a point after what was a very, very busy race for him. Stube, our final finisher, in 11th. The DNFs, Ryan, Call Me the Brave, Fox River, Fanning, Derry, Guy, Licious, Stringy B, and Simba. Interestingly, obviously, that Fox River got disqualified, as did Simba. Both are very confusing glitches, frankly.
I don't get that at all. That seems like absolute madness.
It was bizarre, to say the least. Very bizarre.
I mean, Simba's tyres on the race director show that he went soft, medium, soft. So 100% glitch.
Yes. Interesting point as well. Jacob taking the fastest lap late on in that race there showed just how hungry he was just to recover what he could in that race. Fantastic effort from himself. I think Tier 2 this season's been phenomenal. This is my third season in MRC, and this is the most competitive I've seen Tier 2 so far. Whoever does come up to Tier 1, they are definitely going to be a match for everyone in that division. And whoever steps up from Tier 3 into this tier, which we don't know who that's going to be for definite yet, they're going to have some work to do to add to what is already a very competitive tier.
I mean, tier 3 has had some crazy pace. I mean, like last week, I think the am I right in saying that the Tier 3 pole time was pretty much the same as the Tier 2 pole time?
Yes, you are definitely correct. From what I've saw, Tier 3 pace this season has been phenomenal, and whoever comes up, I'm sure they'll do a great job. but this tier 2 has definitely been ridiculous. And actually, if I'm going to say it now, all tiers this season have been more competitive than I think we've seen so far, actually, in the existence of MRC. So,
yeah, I mean, tier 1 has been like the closest fought tier 1 I think we've ever had.
7 different winners in 8 races. I'm going to humbly drop myself in there.
It's pretty amazing. But you know, tonight's about tier 2, and it's about Bergen and the fact that he is our champion elect.
So, if my numbers are correct, Bergen is the champion. Mark will be second, Fox third, and Jacob fourth in the overall standings from tier 2. So the only change is that Mark jumps Fox from third to second. That's the change going out of that race from what we was going into it, which, wow, I'm not sure who would have predicted that finish, but that was almost as exciting as what we saw at Silverstone yesterday.
Yeah, that was a really good race to watch. It was good to see that Mark exhausted Bergen by pegging him from behind relentlessly.
You had to get that in there again, didn't you?
Until he just faded. Yeah, just had nothing left to give.
It was relentless.
Couldn't take it anymore.
Relentless pegging. Is that what you're trying to say?
What? You come out with the most despicable things. Absolutely appalling. I'm never going to commentate with you again.
I don't blame you. I do not blame you. Anyway, we shall have to remind you all that Tier 1 is starting in approximately 23 minutes time, so please come back to the channel in 23 minutes. We'll see our Tier 1 finale where you see Xavier and Stefan, aka LRL HSV fan, fighting it out for the Tier 1 championship. That's right.
Well, it's got
20 minutes.
It's got hotter and hotter in this room that I've been commentating in, so I'm going to have to remove an item of clothing.
Wait, I thought you only had one pair left. Oh dear. You said earlier you were wearing just one item, and I hope you don't remove it.
Well, I'm not. It's not like anyone can see me. You're just so quick to judge. Oh my god. You're not the boss of me.
Well, no, this is true. Technically, you are the boss of me because this is your league. So I'm going to have to back down here very quickly about. But
oh yeah, I should lead by example. I should be an upright and. Oh no, God, no! Don't start talking about things being upright. Oh God, should we just stop?
Yep, let's just stop. For those who haven't already done so, please check out the link for Driver of the Day poll. Chuck your nomination in for your favourite driver of the day. Congratulations again to our winner Mark and our championship winner Bergen, and of course Tier 1 in 20 minutes. Ring the bell, get your notifications on. Remember, we are around all the time and streaming 4 days a week, I believe now. 3 to 4 days a week, depending on the week. And Series 8 is coming in 2 weeks. We've also got a charity race next week for those who want to take part and watch. We have a charity stream coming up. More news will be released on that soon. But anyway, we shall disappear soon.
We could disappear, or we could possibly, if he's listening, have a chat with Mark, who's just won the race.
Oh, has he just joined the party? Oh, Marcus! Hello! Congratulations!
Thank you, gents. Thank you very much.
Do you want to say
well
a few
done, mate.
words?
That was very exciting.
Speechless. That was not expected in any way, shape or form after practice. Fox had great pace. I think connection issues.
He did. He got a bit of a weird glitch as well.
Yeah. Bergen was monster quick, and it was just that was the battle that we deserved last week in Brazil that the game took away from us, and that was a great battle with him. Really good battle. So yeah, really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I said as much during the commentary that you'll be feeling kind of vindicated after last week's it wasn't that you lost, it was just that you didn't win somehow. But this week you definitely earned every single penny.
Yeah, it was a great race, clean with Bergen, and then Calvin as well, coming in as a reserve from Tier 3, and
he did a fantastic job.
What an unreal race. He was on a hard tie as well, keeping up, and then played a really good wingman to back me up at the end. And congrats to Bergen for the championship back to back. Can't believe it. Brilliant. Yeah,
impressive stuff. Let's see how he gets on when he goes up to play with the next set of difficulty levels, because the jump from 2 to 1 is pretty significant. So it's kind of a sink or swim, isn't it? Quite often going up to Tier 1.
Yeah, it is. I think we've seen it a few times. A few people go up and come back down, and then hopefully I think that'll put me in second as well in the championship.
You are.
Now, so
if my
me moving
calculation's
up
right,
as well,
you'll be
so-
second now. You will be second.
Yeah, so I've got to play with the big boys as well.
You
Oh,
have.
hello.
Well, you should. When you
Hello.
listen to this commentary back, you'll know that we can recognise the fact you're able to play with the big boys.
Well,
Thanks.
I remember our many fights, Mark, and I know full well that if I'm capable of being a tier 1 driver, then as are you, my friend. As I've always said from day one.
Yeah, appreciate that. Appreciate it.
So, yes. But congratulations again on what was a fantastic drive from yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah, well
Thanks,
done.
lads.
We're going to end the stream there because Tier 1, as we said, is back in 19 minutes. Get yourselves strapped in and ready for a crazy finale. But thank you, Martin, for joining me tonight, and thank you for your little cameo here, Mark. Always good to hear
No
from you, my
problem.
friend. Take care, and thank you. Good night, everyone.
See you next season.
Good night.